We just back for another episode of Mohammed complaining about the world. But is it him who's wrong? Is it him? We'll never know. We will never know. Let's get these comment sections going. You know, I love having a healthy comment section. I gotta turn the stool cat corner. That way I can lift one foot up like Kurt Cobain on MTV Unplugged. That's always my favorite position, you know, making sure that I'm comfortable, that I'm here, I'm live, I'm active, doing another show. I was blessed enough to see another show because that's not always promised. You know, just being able to be here. Let me check one last camera before I start talking. There we go. Listen. Oh, yeah. All the levels are going. This is how you set up a show. I'm so proud of myself. I get so proud of myself every time I set up this. It's such a good feeling. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Late start, as you very well know. But listen. That's why I don't even put a hard time on the show anymore. I've reached a point I'm just like, yo, I put between 7 and 8. Because it gives me a peace of mind knowing that it's, you know, the window's a little open. Now, once I'm able to lock in a time, shabasi. And we really get this thing cracking. I feel like I start every show with that. I feel like, yo, it's me with the black GD. Oh, what's good, G? What's good? It was nice seeing you. Hey, you got that thing running, bruh? Is it going? Is it moving? What's up? Can we get some videos of it yet? Or like, what are we doing? Are we just talking? Like, I want to see what you can do with that thing. That thing, when you pulled up to the barbershop, bro, you talk about the perfect car. Let me give you guys a little insight. There's two cars that niggas just can't avoid, right? And that's, well, there's more than two. But the two dominant ones right now in the car scene is the Pontiac GTO and most importantly, the Chevy SS. If you can get a V right now, consider yourself lucky. However, when you pull up to the black barbershop with one of those cars, understand that's just being disrespectful to niggas. That's tying your boot extra tight and then shoving your foot so far into the, come on. Listen, I don't even want to start off being so disrespectful. But yeah, bruh, it's all good. He said, I'll be at the Sunday spot. Okay, good. Bet. I'm trying to figure out the schedule. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to record. But listen, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up regardless. What's good with y'all? What's good? Man, you know, today's show, you guys, is not car scene conversation. So if you tuning in for Car Scene Conversation, I apologize. That's my Saturday show. This is just for like me to talk and express. This is for like the people who are like fans of like Mohammed, Mr. Mo, everything I got going on as a young man, what I'm trying to grow and things of that nature. That's what this show is. That's what I think this show is. The Car Scene Conversation, even though that one has a special spot in my heart because, like I said, it gives me the chance to just see y'all and talk to y'all in the car scene, and I want to help give y'all a voice. Y'all don't really get a voice. Y'all really just summarized by burnouts and intersections, and then cops just go straight to street racing. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there quite yet because that's Saturday topics. Speaking of Saturday, I would like to do a quick reflection on my weekend. Special shouts out to Ray. Special shouts out to Backwoods. Special shouts out to Chico. Special shouts out to, oh my God, I'm remembering your car, but not your name. Listen, what's his name? Oh my gosh. The 350Z. He knows his name. Well, I always forget that day 2 times. You know, I name sleeping on. Shouts out to everybody who pulled up to the studio this past weekend. I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate the conversation you guys had cracking in the comment section. That was really tight. But most importantly, shouts out to my nigga Ray. You know, Ray has been he's a young kid. And I just see the progression. And I see where he's about to grow his entire brand, future, career. And I thought it was so important to just document that moment in time. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the only place you can kind of rewatch some of these episodes is on my YouTube and also on my Facebook. I don't have a formal place to put the episodes quite yet, but nonetheless, they are all there. So it was nice having a conversation about the overall car scene. It was nice for them to witness the car scene also with my son here. It was honestly a shit show. Let me tell you guys, from a production standpoint, between having my kid, my lights not being ready, my equipment not being ready, the studio not being together. I promise you, that was the hardest show for me to get started. But those guys were so cool, calm, and collective throughout the entire process. It felt good to just like to talk to people, you know? It felt good to talk to people. Because like I said, in the car scene, age is just a matter. That's what I've learned. Age is really just a matter of just whatever room you're in, right? So when I'm at work, I'm kind of like the average age, right? Not too many people are older than me if I'm not the oldest already. And there's a lot more that are younger than me. Whereas when I go to Garces, right, I have this situation where as the teacher, clearly I'm the oldest person in the room. And you're considered middle age at 29. I kid you not. That is a direct quote from one of my students. They viewed me as a middle-aged man, which I think to be crazy, right? But whatever. Whereas if I go to the golf course, right, all of a sudden I'm the young kid. And mind you, I'll tell you guys, I'm 29, 30. I just like to say 30 because 29 is awkward. But at 30 and 29, understand, like, in the full scope of life, I'm mad young. But in the scope of the circles I'm in, I'm relatively old. So I try to make it a point that to put people up on game, on conversation, or whatever the situation may be, because I don't want them feeling stupid. So I was like, yo, I'm going to give everybody a platform who I think deserves a platform. And in this process, I'm going to be learning about myself as a producer, a businessman, a father, a husband, all these things at the same time. And you guys get the opportunity to just kind of tap in and watch it if you care to. Now, if you don't, it's still cool. Regardless, I'm still going to get my opinion off because I don't know anything else I could potentially do with my life. Let me see who's all here. How many people are here? Listen, if you are here watching the show right now, we play a quick little game. We take a quick little sidestep. We play a game called 1 in 10. And if you're not familiar with 1 in 10, it's a very simple game. All you have to do is tell me about the progression or your overall day. A 10 means you've had a perfect day. That means you made some money. That means you ain't had no beef with nobody. That means you just everything happened the way you envisioned it. And a 1 can be the complete contrary, which is like everything did the complete opposite. Now, for the most part, over the past couple of weeks, I've been cruising all around the place. But I can comfortably say today was the best 10 I had for one reason, and one reason only, is just to get, just because I got some money. I really got some money. I got paid. Remember those gigs I took off you guys last week Thursday? Look, the check finally cleared and the money came through today. It's the best feeling in the world. And I promise you, my goal is to get more gigs like that. And I can tell you that comfortably that it was worth taking the show. Y'all be proud of me. But I'm over here reading some of the comment section right now. Well, Ray, you got 5. I can always count on Brother Foble to be an 11. Zier, come on, bro. -10. What's going on with y'all? 7.5? Nah, we can't have that. Ray, you said, let me get some car scene conversation with the photographers. Of course, brother. I'm not opposed to that at all. I would love anybody from the car scene to any form of capacity. I really do like it. Whether you're in the drag scene, the slide scene, the stance scene, the cruising scene, the lowrider scene, hot rod, I don't care. Like, I've literally created this platform just to talk cars with people. Now, here's the thing. If you're in a scene that I don't know a lot about, I got to do my research. I got to do a little research before I come in. So I'm not like, you going to dog walk me on the show, but I want to make sure I at least know something. I can have a little conversation with you. Zier says he lost some money in traffic court. Oh, damn. You know, you didn't lose money, bro. That's just called the Scat Pack effect. You can't get a Scat Pack and not think traffic court don't come with it. It almost comes with the car in theory. Like, as soon as you drive that bitch off the lot, I kid you not, there is a CHP by a block from wherever you're about to park and be like, yo, I'm just going to give you this ticket now because guess what? You about to get it in the future. So, look, you got to chuck it up to the game, brother. You got to chuck it up to the game. And that's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume traffic court isn't off of no parking ticket. I pray it's not off no parking ticket. He said, yes, sir. Look, I'm loving it. We got to get the mood up. I'm not liking where y'all at. I need to see more. I only see 111, and I can count on that from my brother Fobo, which takes me into another point of my weekend, and we're going to go back to that. You guys, I followed through. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. And also, who else did it with me is the one and only Justin Fobo. Listen, y'all know I tried to do 1,000,001 hustles all day, every day, as much as possible because I got to get to the bread. But because you guys have been so vocal in this process with me, you guys have also taken note and tried to come up with strategies for me to help make more honest, legal, clean money. So Fobo, he hit me up. He was right. Listen, let me start you guys off with this entire conversation by saying This man said, be ready at 7. He was at the house at 6:50 a.m. on Saturday. Here's the thing, what you guys don't know. I had to do, I'm not sure you guys noticed, I posted on my story just now, or a little bit, not now, but earlier today, the Lioness Den. Shouts out to the Lioness Den. If you guys remember episode probably like 2, 3, Santana, friend of the show, who actually came and talked to us about the life of like instructor, fitness guru, ex-pole dancer kind of thing. I actually went to her place, her former or her current place of work. And literally, I got the chance to record some of their dance sessions. And it was really cool. One of the best gigs I had, really easy, record, give the SD card, put it in the drive, the happiest clients I've ever had. It was absolutely outstanding. Shouts out to Julian. I really do appreciate your hospitality. Thank you for making it so cohesive. Thank you for helping the other dancers and leaving them space for me to record. I really do appreciate that. Also, shouts out to, I don't remember, she's like Baby Smurf. I don't know her name there. I really do appreciate the whole Lioness Den hospitality. Because honestly, I don't get a lot of client work that actually works that cohesively, especially with complete strangers. Which takes me back into the next morning. Justin was at the house first thing in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, what do you guys think? If somebody's saying, he's here, you fool, you said start trapping and get a Hellcat. I think about that all the time. When somebody says it's time to work, usually what you take into consideration is, maybe you have some friends who are really dedicated to the purpose, dedicated to the cause. But I kid you not, you guys aren't going to see a friend like Justin. Justin was taking me from house to house to house to house to house to thrift store to thrift store. I feel like that trend. They're like, Day, what's up, Day? What's good, G? But they're talking about club, whatever. You know that trend all the hot girls was doing a couple years ago? Literally, this brother had me going from estate sale to estate sale, teaching me how to look for things outside of just vintage tees. Because you guys know, I've been a thrifter. I created a whole brand called Thrift. Like thrifting has been my entire just livelihood, because I just like having clothes with a story. Now, here's the thing. Actually, I'm gonna pin that real quick, Day. I like that. I want to pin that. Thrifting has been my entire life, but Justin said, here's the problem with your thrifting, Mohammed. You're depending really heavy on your brand to sell things that are overpriced or sell things that are essentially used. Why don't you sell things that people are honestly looking for? So honestly, we went through the entire process and he said, stop looking for t-shirts, stop looking for hoodies. Mohammed, look for fishing reels. Mohammed, look for power tools. Mohammed, look for things that you can sell. And lo and behold, he came through. Not only did he come through, he also even found a camera that I'm going to use and then sell, because I got to see if it works. It's an old Canon. I got to see if it works. And if it works, I promise you I'm going to sell it, Justin, because I know the profit margins on those things. But yeah, we literally went over and over and over to a ton of locations, and he drove me in his car and literally got the chance. We literally just got the chance to bond, talk, and recorded clips, and it was just an overall cool experience because I got to kick it with my nigga and make money in the process. So shouts out to Justin. It was nothing. It was a vibe. I wouldn't replace him for anything, except the only thing about working with Justin, I need to tell y'all this. This man don't believe in lunch breaks. He don't believe in water breaks. Listen, I went all the way back. I didn't have any water. I didn't go back anywhere. I didn't have any water for the past 2 days when I was with him. All I had was some coffee to get myself up because I was up so late with the Lioness Den gig from the night before. So what I ended up doing was kicking it with him, and I realized this brother does not stop. He doesn't believe in food breaks, no water breaks, nothing. But I didn't want to look like I was about to bitch out, so I got to stay strong. My ego got the best of me until it reached the point where finally 2 o'clock called in, and finally my wife said, yo, I need you to come get Ablo. You got to get Ablo. I got things I got to do. So if it wasn't for Key, I don't know how long I would have been out with Justin, dehydrated, hungry, tired. I got back so tired, y'all. I drank me almost a half a gallon of water, ate me like 2 sandwiches, and knocked out for like a cool hour. I didn't know I was that exhausted. Listen, Justin does not stop for nothing, and I appreciate him for that, and I love him for that, because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of other people who be doing a lot of other things, but none of them work like him. But man, let's get right to the shit, y'all. Let's get right to the shits, because that's good news. We got to get to the. We got to talk about some bullshit now, because you know what? I'm not sure if you guys saw the post on my page, but I put a video out yesterday saying that I just simply can't record today, right? And the overall, and to be honest with you, I can record through anything. I can turn on this show when if I'm going through hell and back, I'm good. I have the tenacity to get through any situation. But yesterday was different, right? So I got off both of my jobs, and I said, I came to the office. I found myself starting to clean, but as I was setting up the camera, I realized that I got a text message that really drove me crazy. Oh yeah, Ramadan, bro. Ramadan ain't no joke. Yeah, that's what it was like, bro. But it was worse because you were Justin. So I can tell you that. I'm sorry. Let me stay focused. Yesterday I got a text message because I ended up doing a gig for someone, right? I did a gig that was essentially making a video for them. Now, let me tell you guys something about being a video editor. A video editor is always an underappreciated role in any company or any type of agency, because the video editor has to go through tons and tons and tons of edits in order to get the vision that you don't know how to express cohesively out and make sure it's done correctly. So for those who are watching in the car scene, if there's something wrong with your car and you take it to the mechanic, and if you're not a mechanic yourself, by the time you get your car back, the only thing you want fixed whatever the problem was going in. But that's not like a creative thing. That's more of a fixing a simple problem. The key reason why I started going into cleaning windows, there's no creativity in that. It's something that it's very easy to argue. If it's done right, it's done right. And if it's done wrong, it's done wrong. But when it comes to videos, it's a headache because everybody has a specific vision in their head. Now, I personally went through the entire process with patience. Now, the person that's client on the other end of the situation was a family friend. Now, usually when it comes to clients, I'm very cohesive about making sure my paperwork is in order, dotting my I's, crossing my T's, making sure the deadlines are in place. Everything about the job is in writing. But with this time, I had a little bit of trust in the situation. I thought that this person isn't going to be the one who's going to screw me over. Let me be more specific. This isn't going to be the person who's going to give me a hard time because of just the association and the connection with the family. In this entire process, I noticed after the first edit, I said, this is funny. They're being mad picky. Now, mind you guys, also, I keep on adding these bullet points in there so you guys can understand the life of a video editor. This video is a 15-minute ordeal. Editing a 15-minute ordeal, especially through After Effects, is a simple 3-4 hour job. Easy if you're going through After Effects. Now, if you decide to just plug and play with some pictures, you probably can get it done in probably 30 minutes, maybe even 15. But if you decide to take a little care into your project, guess what? It's going to take longer to render. And that's what I did. I realized that this client, air quotes around client, paid for a certain type of video, but I wanted to deliver more. I wanted to make sure that everything about this video, because of the emotional attachment to this situation, not me, but what the person had to the client, I said, I have to make sure everything is correct. And I'm even going to go in some. While I'm sitting here going through this edit, mind you, this is a 10-hour job. This is a slideshow, by the way. This is a 10-hour slideshow because I want to make sure that the effects from the background are blending in properly with the front. I want to make sure that the light on each photo looks good, because if you guys know anything about funeral slideshows, you gotta understand, people take pictures of pictures, and it's your job as the videographer to not only edit the video, but even edit the photos going into the video. Because at the end of the day, it's not, how do you say this? At the end of the day, everything comes down to you. It doesn't matter if the content you received wasn't of adequate quality. It's your job to fix it. So, once again, family friend kind of situation, I'm still going to make sure that I put my best foot forward. I sent the first video out. That's probably after, let's just say 10 hours of work. There were some edits. Now, the first edit, I'm never mad at a client about. The first edit, I never have any issue, because there is possible, after looking at a screen for so long, it's possible that, guess what? It's probably just not, I miss some things. I'm human. I don't really have an editing team, but I did the video to my best capability, knowing the knowledge I know whenever the subject is and whatever the video is, I said this is the best. But because you have a deeper connection to these photos, I can imagine, me personally, that you can look at these things with a fine-tooth comb, and I respect that. I don't care who you are. I respect that. So I went back and I made the edits. Once again, because this is a After Effects render, you guys have to understand, I don't have a big desktop with all the RAM in the world. It takes a while to render. So I made the edits, did the changes. I'm up all night, didn't get any sleep, got everything done. I even came home from a show one night, took a nap for like an hour, and then woke back up and got right back to work. I was really on some from sunrise to sunset type of time. But what ended up happening in this process, let me make sure, what ended up happening over this entire edit was she came back with some more edits. And I said, you know what? It's cool. I turned it in. I'm thinking, I'm dusting my hands off. The job is complete. And she came back with different edits. Now, let me tell you something else. If you have somebody do a video for you, it's not a big deal. But if you have edits, make sure you mention everything in that first edit or that first draft. If you forgot some things or missed some details, understand, as an editor, especially if it's not a 30-second, 1-minute banger, understand it takes a long time to fix. Now, yes, you can take the CapCut approach and you can get some standard video that kind of looks like everybody else's. But if that editor put time into the job, you gotta understand it takes more job to make it happen again, and then again, and then again. So hear this. I was cool after the second draft, but after the third draft, my patience was running thin. I told myself, I can't continue to do this at this rate. And at this point, the due date, we already at the due date. And I realized, you know what? Enough is enough. I've completed the task. I'm done with this. After 3 drafts of a 15-minute video, I'm done. I am done. I do not have any interest in this project anymore. Mind you, I was Googling and researching ways to try to make this render process go faster, and there was nothing, you guys. If you have a quality video, I promise you there's no other faster way to go about the project, not unless you have a very expensive computer or you have a standard ass video. Those are the only options you have when making content, or excuse me, when rendering content. Either you have a $10,000, $12,000 rig, or you have a basic edit. But if you pick something that's high quality, like a high quality video, it's going to take a while. So anyways, by the third edit, I'm like, you know, whatever, it's done. I'm done with the process. Let me make sure I want to send my follow-up text message. Hey, yo, just checking in. Want to let you know, trying to do the follow-up on the payment. This was my first wrong. This was my first, second, and third wrong. Because you know why? I treated this client like family. And I should have treated this client like a client. I don't know if you guys can ever been in this position, but I kid you not. Family is more abusive emotionally, psychologically, and not mine. My immediate mom, dad, sister, no, they're the fucking best. But I'm talking in a more, I am an anomaly. I love my parents. Are the best. They are, in my entire life, I love them. My entire life. But understand, when I speak on more traditional families, I've understand that a lot of people's hindrance to their success is not the person at their job across the desk. It's not the person that's in their school. It's the person that's sitting in the living room. It's the person in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Your own immediate family will literally be the hindrance to your success. And I never really understood that because my family has always been just solid. So when I moved out here and I got married, I have to understand that my family isn't the same way of everybody else's family. But I moved like it was my family. And that was the mistake I had. Justin just put in the comment section, he says, You said you always have to have a contract, and you're 100% correct, Justin. I take full accountability for this situation because I went into it not being very explicit about what was expected from them and what was expected from me. I went about the situation with logic and not business. I fucked up. Now here's the thing. Being me, taking this entrepreneur road, people have screwed me over from time in to time out. I've gotten so accustomed to it that I'm numb to it. Completely numb. If I told you guys some of the clients that I've had in the past, I kid you not, some of them have been outstanding. They have changed my life. However, others completely screwed me over and have even hindered my working relationship with other people because I brought them into the situation. In this scenario, this affected me differently for one reason and one reason only. Remember, go back to earlier Friday night where I told you right before the Saturday when Justin picked me up? Something happened that night or Saturday morning because it was like midnight, 12, 1 o'clock, whatever. Something happened that night that I did not think that was going to change my entire perspective on my life forever. My wife was in the living room watching God knows what. I don't know. These shows I don't know. But I was in Ablo's room. Fun fact, Ablo's closet and my closet are shared. It's half his, half mine. You know, Kiara gets her own, all the other closets in the space. The other 2 closets, those are hers. The one in our bedroom, that's hers. Another one in the living room den there, that's hers too. Them all her closets. But half the closet I share with Ablo, me and him duke it out for our real estate in there. So anyways, I came back I did laundry. I told you guys about that as well. Went to the laundromat a couple of days before, and I was finally catching up with the clothes that I had washed and dried, and I was folding them and putting them away. So I can, essentially, I like to do my own kind of, I like to do my own inventory with my clothes so I know what drawers is clean, which clothes is clean. You know, you never really know. So I ended up, while I'm going through all the laundry, I'm putting clothes on the hangers, rolling the drawers up, rolling my socks up, and rolling up my T-shirts. I hear my wife jump up, Key, obviously. She screams like, ah! Right, I can't scream. My voice is still kind of wrecked, as you guys can see. Or not less my voice is just dropping another octave, and this is just my tone now. But I literally heard her scream, and she's like, oh my God, babe, oh my God. But it was like a frantic scare kind of thing. I turn around and I look through the door and I realize she's like dusting herself off. And I'm like, babe, what's going on? You okay? What's up? And she's like, babe, a roach. I saw a roach on me. Now, at first I thought she was lying. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was like, Key, baby, there ain't no damn, what are you talking about? There's no way that's possible. And then I said, she's like, babe, it's behind the couch. I need you to go get it. So anyways, I put down my clothes. I was listening to like the history of Disneyland or Disney World, or how Walt Disney kind of built his business and built his brand. You know, that's the kind of things I listen to on my phone. And I go to the living room and we pull back the couch, we stomp this nigga out, we get him, everything, problem solved, kumbaya. But later on that night, it hit me different because I was like, yo, usually right around that time, that's the place where she breastfeeds Ablo. And honestly, usually them things don't, like, bugs don't affect me. I don't really give a damn. At my old house, Alpha Hemlock, I would constantly, like, roaches would, like, as sick and gross as this is, there was sometimes I would see them during the summertime and it would drive me crazy, but not enough to where, like, I was frustrated, if that made any sense. Like, as gross as that is of a statement, I realized I was like, they trying to figure it out the same way I am. Now, does that mean I let them niggas live? Hell no. I'm stomping them out like a madman. But they didn't have the same effect on me. But it was different this time for one or two reasons. One, it went on Key. And the second reason, right where Ablo sleeps. Well, his day naps. And I said, that roach had the audacity to come interrupt my home. And fatherhood and husbandhood took effect at the same fucking time. Remember that feeling I had? I didn't think about it much Saturday. I was out there hustling, just on my hustle with Justin. But then Sunday came and it was Father's Day and I'm supposed to relax and enjoy the live, just what it's like to be a dad and kick your feet up, yada, yada. But I just simply couldn't. That thought was just kept on looping in my head over and over and over and over and over again. I'm like, I don't care it's Father's Day. I need to get up and clean. I need to practice with these windows. I need to practice on my stroke. I need to practice on my swipe, whatever it may be. I need to work on it. And that's what I did. So now we get to Monday, essentially yesterday. And I saw the text message that completely changed my perspective on somebody not paying me. Now, usually, I don't care when someone doesn't pay me. I'm offended, I cut you off, and we never speak again, and I move accordingly. However, this time it affected me differently because it felt as if you weren't just taking money away from me, you're taking money away from my wife, and you're taking food out of Ablo's mouth. And I kid you not, a whole new level of gangster took over me in the middle of that classroom when I read that text, and I wanted to go off, but I didn't. Because I only have patience for a couple things in this world. And when I say patience, as in where I will hold my tongue out of respect for the group. This is for Kiera and Kiera's immediate family. That's it. And if I started having a conversation with this woman, I would have stepped out of character and said something that I couldn't retract. It's like ringing a bell. Once you ring a bell, you can't unring it. So what I did, I just stopped texting, I let it go, and I just charged it to the game. Now, to be honest with you, my wife was amazed. She said there's no way he's going to be able to hold his tongue, because I called her immediately on site. I went to the back room, right where the back of my class. You guys will be able to see a video on that later on. And I literally made the phone call, and I was like, babe, I'm hot right now. I'm mad right now, but I'm not even going to pop off. I knew I was mad because I found myself re-screenshotting it over like a madman. I'm like, no, she didn't. She did not just say it's okay, because I don't like it when people affect or like have their own perception of my worth, of my brand, of my work, or anything like that. But I do have an issue when you are taking it from my family. It's not like I'm the person who likes to ball out and buy shit. I don't buy anything. I don't buy no grills. I ain't got no rims. Only thing I purchase is equipment, and I haven't bought equipment in so long, it's ridiculous. I have not bought anything since I paid the camera off. The only thing I'm trying to do right now is save and work. I'm on that type of time all day, every day. So when she said that, I was truly affected. Now, one can say, is it principle? It was only $250, but it's $250 less. $250 less. And how I look at that, that's a portion of my check. That's a portion of my money, and I can't afford to have that mess up. I can't afford for a few dollars to go missing, especially when you're saving up for something bigger, better purpose. Your rent is doubling at both locations, and you're trying to just keep a family afloat. So I say all this to say on my quick rant, I forgot, what did I title this episode? Is petty, or what did I call it? I forgot. Is being petty justified? I read some comments in here earlier. A day you hopped in earlier talking about it. Zier, you said being petty is being immature. There's no point in being petty. As long as you let being petty, don't let someone else's negativity ruin your mood. What if that's your fuel? What if that's your fuel? You see, I tell you guys all the time, and my students ask me before, Mr. Mo, what's your favorite animal? And I said it's an elephant, because the elephant never forgets. I don't forget shit. I don't forget nothing. I don't forget anything from anyone at any time if I felt disrespected, because I live such a happy-go-lucky, copacetic type of life. I really do. I think, like I said, being petty is the chip on my shoulder. That's what wakes me up. That's what keeps me going. It's my fuel. I don't forget anything. She said, Hannah said, I don't think being petty is justified. It's kind of childish, to be honest. I don't know. Because we always look at the other person as if, I always ask myself, if somebody refers to that person as petty, what did they do? What did that other person, being petty is a reactive emotion. It's a reactive emotion, not a projecting emotion. And that's why I never understood when people never liked the person who's being petty. It drove me crazy because someone is only petty when somebody else has done something to them. Now, in my scenario, in my head, I'm speaking from a logical point. I'm speaking from a point of, how do you say this? I'm not talking about being petty off of dumb shit. Like, I'm talking about being petty because of business, because of money, you know, whatever the situation may be. Like I said, okay, Martha says right here, she says, when it comes to your livelihood and family, be fucking petty. Exactly. And that's how I saw it. Hannah, what did you say earlier? She says, I don't think it's justified, just kind of childish, but I can't talk. I've been pretty petty before. They said, you've only, like I said, here's another one right here. She said, you've only been petty to those who genuinely cross you. Exactly. Someone who fuck with you would think twice before doing something. Exactly. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You guys are saying it all perfectly in the comment section because I am the one, like I was saying, I'm not talking about being petty. And I teach middle schoolers and high schoolers. I understand unjustified petty. I watch these kids all day on Snapchat. She done said this, that done said that, he done said this, who bun bent that, who screenshot this, who sent that there, and blah, 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 and that's why your mama's ugly. The whole situation. I've seen it all. Now, that is unjustified petty, but honestly, I check that up to just youth. I'm 29, 30 years old. My petty comes with purpose. It comes with purpose. And it's not like I'm in a predicament or a situation where I'm being petty for fun. I don't do shit for fun. Everything I do is work. So why would I take the energy of being petty if it really wasn't justified? Vanessa says, no one takes you serious until you start being petty sometimes. Exactly. They will continue to walk over you and disrespect you. Honestly. I'm loving this comment section. Day, you said in hindsight, you're not being petty. You're reciprocating the same energy, the same colors. Exactly. Exactly. Let me tell you guys another story real quick. And then after this story, I promise that was all I really had. I wanted to get this off my chest. Because if I came in with how I was saying this yesterday, it was just a lot of explicits. It was a lot of disrespect. It was me coming. I was out here I was about to say whole names. I did not care. I was about to risk it all for the sake of just principle. But I said, don't do that. You got to be wise enough to recognize you got to know when to hold them, and you have to know when to fold them. And that was a moment where I said, you know what? I'm a fold. I'm going to break my streak of having my show record. You know, streak, not unless the gig pops up. Y'all know that, though. Because I feel some type of way. Because I knew I was going to say something disrespectful. I'm already aware of the risk I take by having this show, by putting my opinion out and saying all these things. I didn't want to actually be pissed off and have that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still pissed off, but I didn't want it to be that clear. I didn't want it to be that easy to find. Let me tell you guys another story that happened. Key said it happened earlier this year, but I don't. She said it happened last summer. And you know, I think about it, it's like every summer somebody's hit me with some bullshit. I was looking over the data from some of my cone hoodies. For those who know, I used to sell my cone hoodies back in the day. They were honestly one of my most iconic pieces, and they sold excellently. I just love the cone community because they have always had my back from day one. Speaking of which, if you ever want a shout out on a run, remember you can support, $1 in a mile dream, $1 in a mile, baby. You send me $1 via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I promise you, I got to shout your name out during my run in the morning. $1. And if you're like, you know what? I don't even want to share the episode with anybody. For $5, you can sponsor the whole run. You can't get a cheaper endorsement than this. Come on, y'all. We got to save enough money so Mr. Mo can get some new running shoes because the ones I got now are toe up from the flow up. And I'm just waiting until I hit an estate sale to come up on some good ones. But in the meantime, we're going to try to get this going $1 at a time so I can get me some good running shoes that aren't tearing my feet up. But anyways, last summer, I had a situation with a young lady because, let me rewind. My hoodies used to actually sell very well over the time. My hoodies are probably one of my most popular products. There were people collected all colors. It made me feel good. And to be honest with you, I sold them at a pretty high price point. Anywhere, I think it was like $65 to $75 a unit. And this was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. But after a certain point, I started looking over all my data, and I just started recognizing who's buying my hoodies. I didn't know. I had to start. It was my first test of doing like demo work or looking at my demographics to see who's buying what. And I realized a lot of women were supporting the brand. Now, that's no surprise to me because I think it's like 70% of the e-commerce marketplace is really dominated by women. A lot of retail in general is supported by women. So I wasn't really surprised. The data kind of just reflected the common market within retail. But whatever, it made myself feel special that 70% of my product sales were due to women. So I said, I need to drop a product that appeals specifically to women. Now, at the time, and even currently, I'm really big on scents. I'll spend a lot of money on candles, Febreze, plugins, whatever situation in, because it makes me, it don't matter how messy a room may be, if it smells good, me personally, I think you're moving into the right direction. So I said, you know what I want to drop? I want to drop a candle line. Now, already I was putting the cart before the horse, because when I decide to start a product or start a business, I generally try to be as vertical as possible, meaning I like to control every part of the process. I like to try to handle the manufacturing. I try to handle the shipping. I like to try to handle the marketing. Every phase of it I like to control. But this time I was like, let me try to partner up with somebody. So I'm not going to say the young woman's name. So let's just call her Anna for the sake of this conversation, right? So Anna was a friend of mine that I've known for quite some years, and we had history from photo shoots years and years. She actually knew me since I was living in Edgewater, right here off of Gosford. And it was my first apartment I ever owned. And for those who don't know about that, I used to do like the white wall shoots for free. And honestly, them same shoots led me to Key. So shouts out to that. You never know what's going to lead you into the future. But her and I met and created a healthy friendship. Over the time, we ended up, I don't know how we ended up relinking together, but the church she was going to was the church I was recording for, better known as Saints Memorial Church of God in Christ. So I was doing all their video work there, and her and I ended up relinking up there again, and everything was all copacetic. Hey, Mo, how you doing? I'm like, what's good, Anna? How you been? Yada, yada. We had a very healthy, literally platonic relationship, because I don't even want y'all's head going nowhere crazy. And I promise you, I'm not talking from some dog angle. I'm being dead honest with you. Strictly platonic. Fast forward, I ended up, Key also used to attend this church, but she ended up going to a new church, and I ended up going there with Key, yada, yada. I ended up finding myself at the new church, and she ended up going there as well. So her and I have had a relationship for probably up to, I would say maybe 7 years, probably 5 to 7 years. We've known each other for quite some time. So then I realized Anna ended up dropping her own candle line. And I said, wow, I really do like the way these candles smell. I love purchasing them. I want to support by any shape or form. Like, I just want to support the business. So I like the candles so damn much, I said, yo, let me invest. Now, with little to no knowledge about what that really means, I stuck my neck out and I said, look, you've released one season of candles, probably about 20 units. What I want to do, I want to 5 times your entire operation. Whatever your profit was on them first ones, I'll give you 5 times as much, but I want a 50-50 split moving forward with the business. I'll handle all the marketing. I'll handle all the video, photo work, all the graphic work. The only thing I need you to do is make the candles. You still own the recipe, but I just want a 50-50 split of all profits. We'll do the check. We'll check up every quarter. It was a pretty cohesive deal that we had in the works. Everything was fine and dandy. We started having our meetings. She was on board. She says, wow, Mohammed, you really support, yada, yada. I could not think of a better duo at the moment, especially in like business duo. Until one day I get a call saying, hey, Mo, I don't know. Excuse me. I get a text saying, I don't even think I'm not interested. This is something I started from the ground up, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to do it anymore. Now, what you don't know about this process is that I probably already have sent her I sent Anna about $500 already, right? So this is not a situation where I'm sitting next to her, not including my labor and time and photo and editing and website, all the work I already did. She says she's not interested. And I believe at the time I gave her anywhere from $500 to $750 because I wanted to give her the capital to get the next season going because I want to have the candles ready for my next hoodie drops. I wanted to do it as a package deal. Candle and a hoodie. Let's keep it cozy. That was the whole brand. I'm not done with those. I'm not done with that, but I'm still going to keep it going. Yeah, Vanessa, it was bad. Yeah, anywhere from $500 to $750. It was something crazy. She already had a copy of the contract, but I guess once she saw the contract, things got a little bit more real. And in this situation, I did go by the contract, but it was never signed yet. Or excuse me, our next meeting was discussing the details of the contract, but I already sent the money because I trusted her. I knew that Anna and I's history, I knew she wasn't going to screw me over, and especially when we got to see each other every week at the church. So I said, this is physically, it's impossible. You're not going to be able to screw me over in this deal. But with that text of her saying, I'm not interested, you know what she ended up doing? You guessed it, screwing me over. Screwing me over. But the audacity that I did not like about the situation, when she sent that text, I said, yo, what's going on? Is it something with your family? What's up? I led with grace because I said there's no way in her right mind she going to pull out the deal when I already gave the capital. She said, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think some nigga got in her ear or somebody got in her ear and she heard 50-50 split and went a different direction with it. But understand, she messed up my entire operation, and then her retort to the situation, or her solution to the problem, was, I'll pay you back in payment plans. I was so offended by Anna's behavior at the time. When I saw her at church that next Sunday, I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you, shawty. I'm going to be blocking you on all forms of contact. Instagram, Facebook. Hell, I'll start a MySpace and block you on it at this point. Phone number, because what you did truly offended me. And I found it to be truly disrespectful. We sit up here having hours of discussion, having meetings, taking time out to try to organize this release, and then you tell me you're not interested? Now and then you're going to give me the audacity and say, I'm going to give you a payment plan to get the money back? Sometimes it's not even about the money. Hindsight, I probably should have got that $500 back, but, it was more than $500. I know it's more because one payment was $500 and I gave another one. I just don't know what that second one was. I know I was so offended by that gesture that I said, I never want to speak to you again. And if I ever see you again, I will still no longer speak to you. The only way we're going to have a conversation is if a wire with my money comes through. I've learned that when it comes to business with very, very close friends or family, you can't just hope that they're going to move by the same merit that you move by. You need to have a contract. You need to have things in writing. You need to have all the details doctored up. And you would have thought by my $500 loss, I would have had it all figured out. But once again, God has found a new way to teach me another lesson by adding an additional $250. So I probably lost about $1,000 in fuck ups over the past 2 years. That's $500 a year in trusting people. In conclusion, I've learned in this entire operation, I cannot move with any forms of trust at all with anyone or anything. I can't. And I try to lead with an open heart. But at this point, I feel offended. They take my jolliness as for stupidity. And I don't want to move like that ever again. Because it's not like you're even at a point in life. It's not like at this point in life you're offending me. You're offending my wife and my son. Shit, do you guys understand everything I'm saying? That was my whole monologue. I've been cooking this episode up so I don't sound freaking like a bitter ex-wife or a bitter ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. I had to like conjure up a creative way to kind of tell this story. Am I making sense? Is everything I'm saying making sense? Is everything I'm saying making sense, honestly? Because I know me personally, I thought I took the best approaches in these situations. I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. But I've learned that the principle, everybody's principle is a little bit different. Not everybody's principle is the same. Not everybody was raised by the same rules. Not a lot of y'all didn't get y'all's ass whooped in a day, and I can tell. A lot of y'all still put y'all's feet on the couch, and I can tell. A lot of y'all was talking to your mama while your mom was on the phone, and she didn't pop you in the back of your neck, and it shows. It shows. So at this point in my life, I got to remember not everybody was raised at, I almost said my address, but not everybody was raised in Mid-City, California with the Cooks. Some of y'all was raised in different places, and y'all have a different set of ethics and a different set of morals that I don't think I'm ever going to understand. So moving forward, and this is to all my future clients, I apologize. I'm not going to come in cold-hearted. It's nothing like that. Ain't no beef, anything like that. It's literally, I have to go this way moving forward to protect my family. It's not me living in Hemlock, me living in the house with all the bros. Hopefully we'll figure it out. Now I have to be very smart about all the steps I have moving forward. Now, this is the irony in the situation. The night before, hear this. Saturday night where I did the gig at the Lioness Den, mind you, this is literally like a strip club practicing kind of dance kind of class, right? And this is during the entire, Pride Month. They had the flags everywhere. They doing everything. They going crazy in there. I'm recording. The best hospitality I've ever seen. Now, it's just irony. I know it's not like this. I'm not blaming this on church folk because it's just people. They're just people. But why is it that I be getting beef with the person I go to church with? But I be at the Lioness Den and they be stupid nice to me. It made no sense to me. I was like, not you. Both of my stories were people, Anna and the other person, they're both people, like the church folks. I say, how, Sway? How? Like, this is, you know what? I ain't about to go there. I'm not even about to have that conversation. I'm not gonna have that conversation because I'm gonna need Key here to pull me back. The church folk conversation. I think that's always hilarious, and we're not focusing on that. So just by a show, I don't even want to say a show of hands. That's like you can tell I've been teaching all day. By a show of hands, who understands what I'm saying right now? That's literally how I talk to my students. Now I'll tell my students, hit me with a ear if you understand what I'm saying. And then that's where they go, ear, and they have a field day with that. It was funny. I got these young kids saying bet, so I gotta watch what I be saying, but that's another conversation. I'm hoping that you guys, I'm hoping I was able to provide everything that was in my chest in an entertaining, cohesive conversation manner. Brittany, I gotta get you on the show, girl. I got to get you on this show immediately. I'm hoping you're still in this live because you are funny. I read your book. I read your questions. I got beef with some. Some of them, I got to give you some pushback. Like some of them, you don't give niggas no space to really give. I'm going to give you guys what I'm talking about, you guys. You know the book that I do has a series of questions where when you guys are being dull and I don't have an episode, we just play the question game. Brittany has actually, who's in the comment section right now, she has actually written her own version of the book. Now, a copy of that book is at my home right now as we speak. And we've had nice little circles discussing some of the questions. Great look. Listen, Brittany, you done started some shit in the house once. It wasn't with me, though. I was good. But that's other folk. But what I want to do, Brittany, I got to get you on. I got to press you about some of them questions. I got to press you. I got to. So when we get a chance, we gotta sit down and talk. Phobal has a really interesting comment in here. He says, when it comes to money, I just left that pin the whole time. My dog. When it comes to money and family, there's a one-strike policy. Fully grown adults, they should know how to behave. Fuck it, Justin. Damn, I tattooed that. Yes, family is adults, and not all your family actually grew up. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the burden of bad news, but not everybody's family members grew up. They got older, but they didn't grow up. So I am going to operate by the one-strike policy. Yes, I like that. I should have read that and pinned that earlier. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's good, Justin. Shit, you know what? I'm going to read that one more time. When it comes to money and family, there's a one-strike policy. Fully grown adults should know how to behave. Yes. Yes. And that's the best part about being 30s. Being in your 30s lets you see the adults in your life that never grew up, but you're older enough you're older than the kids that and watch them still be stupid. Being in this age is so beautiful. The 30s are beautiful. You can look at both sides. It's like turning on your blinkers to figure out what lane you about to go into. Oh my gosh. So when it comes to family, whether it's in business or any type of relationship, whatever, one strike. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you is. Because I had the best treatment. I love my mother. Rochelle Cook is the best woman in the world. David Cook is the craziest black man in the world. And Munira Cook is the best sister that any nigga can ask for. So I got A1 treatment. And the issue is, a lot of y'all didn't. So when I sit down talking to people and having conversations, y'all ain't never lived in a cookhouse, and I be feeling bad for y'all. Yes. Peaked in high school ass niggas. For real. Niggas still talking about their old football game. Out here all Al Bundy head ass. Going crazy. Talking about that one football game where they killed it. Bro, if you don't let that go. And that's a very common behavior of people in Bakersfield. They love talking about what high school they went to. But that's another conversation. We'll save that for another day. Anyways, that's all I really have for you guys tonight. Hopefully I was able to deliver an entertaining, a cohesive conversation so you guys can see what's in my mind. I got to go fill my water jugs up because we ran out of water, which is a beautiful thing. I got my wife drinking water. Shouts out to the men. Every man knows your woman don't like to drink water. So when you're a man and you got your woman to drink water, but yet your woman will complain about her headaches and how tired and dehydrated, but won't drink no water, it makes no sense to me. So shouts out to me. I got my wife drinking water, and I got to go fill the water jugs up. I got to go fill them up at the little hood things, at the fast trips. You know, we trying to get our money right. We going to get out the hood. These little water jugs and roaches, this shit ain't going to last too long. I hate this. We going to get out of it. But anyways, I want you guys to stay happy. I want you guys to stay optimistic. And I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow, anytime between 7 and 8. It depends on the mood my son is in when I leave. He really determines the show at this point. From there, go ahead, just enjoy your night. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Cone is